I'm Jennifer Sness here watching News 24 Live. I'm joined in studio by Joanne Brown, Global Brand Ambassador for the Botanist Gin. Today we're going to speak about foraging and how you can use the plants from your very own backyard in your cocktails. Hello.
Hello there, how are you doing?
Good, thanks for coming in and bringing all of these beautiful plants. They smell so good.
They do, they smell divine. Yes, lovely and fresh.
So tell me about your history with foraging and how you got into it.
Excellent. Well, the Botanist is a dry gin that comes from the famous whiskey island of Islay. And on the island of Islay, we were truly inspired by a lot of the local flora and fauna. And we actually work with two botanists who go out all year round, and they picked a list of 40 botanicals. And we experimented with these, we sort of used them in tinctures, and we whittled it down to a list of 22 forage botanicals from the island of Islay. And we've used that in the distillation, and they're augmented by 9 base botanicals. So together there's 31 botanicals, but 22 have been hand-picked on the island of Islay to really give it a true flavour of our island.
So this seems to be a trend that's been happening lately. People are really using hand-picked Fynbos and plants from their very own backyards, parks, to use in cocktails and canapes and food. Yes. So tell me what we have here on the table.
So I was lucky enough on Monday to go out to the Good Hope Gardens and Nursery out at Cape Point, and we had a fantastic day foraging with some bartenders there, and we had an expert in edible indigenous plants, Roshana Gray.
I can't imagine a bunch of bartenders picking plants.
They were like giddy school children, honestly. They were absolutely loving it. And we had great secateurs, and you know, it's very important when you are picking the plants that you are, if you're not an expert in it, go and contact someone, a forager or a botanist, and make sure that you know what you're doing, because of course there's a lot of danger, so you don't want to pick anything poisonous.
Right.
These plants that we have here, we've got beautiful lemon pelargonium, and when you rub the leaves together it gives a lovely kind of lemon scent to it, and we've also got a wild peppermint there as well. And they really, it's quite vibrant. You know, I was surprised about how much flavour you're getting from these plants. And of course we saw the Fynbos, which was the first time I'd ever seen it, because it's my first time.
What did you think of it?
It's lovely, really lovely. So it is amazing how many different species, you know, you have as well, and the different flavours that you do get from them. So it was great. And then we've got a basket full of goodies here. I'm not even sure what's in there.
Me neither. I can see mint. That's the only thing I can identify.
This one was quite interesting because I recognised it because we actually use, you know, coming from Scotland, we use Scottish heather to flavour the Botanist gin, and this is actually of the same family, and it looks very similar. So it's almost like a bit of Scotland.
I'm going to have a smell of Scotland.
There you go.
All right, so we are going to experiment a little bit with what's on the table, but before we do that, I think we should have a taste of the gin neat to set our palates and have something to compare to.
Excellent.
All right.
I'll pour you a wee drop.
Oh, thank you.
It's really good to try this neat first,
so
that you do get a kind of indication of the flavours that are in there. When we distill the Botanist, we have a very long, slow distillation. It gives it a lovely kind of viscous texture when you're drinking it, and it means that the spirit has lots of time to infuse with the local botanicals that we use. And it means it's a complex, layered gin, and it stands up really well to experimentation. And it means that you can put your own stamp on it at home, you can work out what works with your garnish, and what you have that's local to you that's going to complement it. So
now, do all gins use as many botanicals?
Not necessarily, no. Some use more, some use less.
Okay.
Your kind of standard gin would use, maybe on your less premium side, you'd use between 4 and 9, and then it can go up from there.
All right.
Yep. So cheers.
Cheers.
Enjoy.
That's quite smooth.
And it's actually been bottled at 46%. We use Islay spring water that we take from a natural source to bring the spirit down to our bottling strength at 46. And a lot of people are quite worried about trying gin neat. They think it's going to taste horrible.
I was a little worried.
There we go. They might have had bad experiences in their childhood of drinking far too much of a not so great gin. But even at 46%, it doesn't bite the back of your throat, and then you kind of feel it sort of developing on your palate, and you're kind of going through all the flavours. We use 3 different types of mint from the island of Islay: water mint, spearmint and apple mint, and it's got that nice kind of fresh herbal taste to it as well.
Yum. So we're going to make some cocktails with these plants we have here.
Yes, indeed.
Do we need to use the tonic water first?
Yeah, I think probably put a bit more gin in it.
Oh wow!
It's always good to get a good flavour of the gin there. I won't make you finish it, don't worry.
I will though.
And then you can either pick from the plants that we have here.
All right.
You can pick one garnish at a time, or you can add a couple more as we go along.
Okay.
Just working out what maybe you think complements it.
All right. Well, I'm going to just follow what you do first.
Okay.
Which one are you going to
use?
Well,
I really like the flavour of this guy here, the lemon pelargonium.
Okay.
So
I'm just going to copy this one.
We're probably doing this probably need some secateurs. I know.
Let's just pull them off.
The thing about foraging is you've also got to be careful, not just that you don't poison yourself, but you don't want to be taking too much of a plant.
Okay.
You know, you want the plant to survive, so never take more than you actually need for making a drink. And also make sure it's sustainable. Make sure it's not a plant that there's only one of, that you happen to go and cut off half the leaves of it, which is important as well. Because
so how much are you going to put in here?
I'm just going to put a little bit off of this.
Okay.
Just sitting in the neat gin there. And then
Never had a drink with plants in it before.
There we go. There we go. I'm sure it's very healthy as well. It's good, healthy drinking.
I'm going to put a little more in.
And I'm going to put a little bit of the mint actually here as well.
And I can use any of these.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a rummage. Have a forage in our basket to see what you find. It's just beautiful, the mint in this. And there's actually, a good organisation, Keep Nature. They've got a website that you can go on to. You can get some advice on foraging, which is really useful for anybody that's thinking about going out and doing it yourself. And even, what is directly in your back garden. You don't have to look. You don't have to think that you have to go right up into the hills hiking to find these amazing plants.
With your basket.
Exactly. You might have, mint plants going in your garden. You might have maybe an apple tree. You might have, I don't know, either lemons or something. So what's close to you? It doesn't have to be a whole getting out there and trekking up a mountain. So just going to give you some time.
Sure, thank you. I want to just put one more in. Okay. I'll put this one in because it reminded you of Scotland.
There we go, and it's pretty, the colours actually in there. It is. You're not going to find a prettier drink out there.
No. And I'll put some mint in just because I love mint.
Perfect.
All right, are we ready?
Yes, I hope it tastes good now.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh, that's nice.
That's very nice.
Yep.
All these foraged plants really bring out the flavours of the gin.
Yep, it's a very difficult gin to overpower. It does stand up well to experimentation with it, which is great. So it means, and if you get it wrong, just try again. You're going to be drinking it, so good fun.
Joanne, thank you very much for coming in and explaining the wonderful world of foraging to us. I'm going to cheers you one last time.
Cheers. Cheers.